Turns out I was the other woman. He forgot to tell me he was married. I never thought I'd be that girl, the one who fell for someone she never met in person. The one who is now sitting with the mess of emotions and trust issues, wondering how she let someone in just through a screen. It started innocently. My mother suggested I make a profile on Muzz app. It might help you find someone good to get married to, she said. I wasn't desperate or anything, but she kept insisting, so I gave in. I made a profile, not expecting much. Matched with a few guys, some were really clingy, others talked about things so inappropriate I might never be able to share them with anyone. And then came him. A young surgeon-to-be. Sweet, respectful, and funny unlike the others. He was kind and considerate, and made me feel understood. He asked if he could add me on Snapchat or WhatsApp. I hesitated at first, but he was gentle, so I let him add me on Snapchat. We started streaks and used to talk daily there. A couple months later he said I don't use the app very often and asked for my number. He didn't really ask though. He kind of just said I should give it. And I did. I don't even know why. He just felt sincere. We used to text often. He was busy with IMM preparation, and I'd cheer him through his studies and long hospital shifts. But I always gave him space so he doesn't feel burdened or drained. He wasn't much of a talker and once said he was an introvert with very few friends. Rarely shared anything deep. Except for a few moments, like when he told me about his grandmother's passing and later when he was grieving. Most of the time, he only opened up when I asked. But he always asked about me and I took that as care. And maybe it was. Or maybe it was just convenience. A day before yesterday. Things changed. First, he left me on read and when I asked he replied, phone reset. All contacts gone. A couple hours later his profile picture disappeared. My messages turned gray. No response. Something didn't feel right. But I thought maybe I was just being delulu. But yesterday he removed me from Snapchat too. My gut was screaming that something was really wrong. So, I checked his Facebook. Married. For 5 months. I felt my whole chest cave in. We had been talking for 6 months. I called him. He picked up after ignoring a few calls and dozens of messages. I asked him directly. And this man, the same man who called me sweet names and laughed at my silly jokes, said, casually, I told you, I was married. He never did. I kept telling him over and over that I wouldn't have gotten emotionally involved with him the way I did if I had known he was married. But he just shrugged it off and said, boss, I remember telling you. Like my memory was the issue and not his deceit. I told him I had nothing to do with him or his life or his wife anymore. All I wanted was clarity, truth, and a closure. But he couldn't even give me that. I gave him my care, my support, my heart. I trusted him. I believed in him. I let him in. I told him about my family, my little moments of joy, my walks, my music, my fears. I gave him real pieces of myself. And he couldn't even offer me honesty. And I still don't know what I did to deserve that. But I guess it's his story to tell. And he lied. Right to my face. I feel stupid. I feel guilty. I feel like apologizing to his wife. I didn't know I was the other woman. But now, I feel like one. Even though I never saw him. Never crossed any lines. But still, I feel like I cheated, just by existing in the space that was never mine to be in. I am not going to destroy his marriage. That's not who I am. I just hate that I remember everything he ever said. But I will heal eventually. And writing this down is the first step towards healing. The only thing I have realized from all this is that emotional betrayal is real and it cuts deeper than we admit. If you have been lied to, or ever made to feel like the only one, only to realize you were just a moment of someone's boredom. I see you. I feel you. And we deserve better. So, here I am. Heartbroken but not bitter. Cried. And done now. How ironic, he said he was becoming a surgeon, shared so many little things, kept sharing for 6 months straight. But somehow forgot to mention his wife.
Relevant comments. Formal_@_1123. It sounds like you guys had more of a friendship than anything else. Unless I missed something, you never met up and just talked non-sexually or 6 months like good friends would. I could easily have misread something though, but I'm not really sure that anyone did anything wrong if that's the case. Did he tell you he wanted to be more than friends? It also sounds like a catfish. 6 months is too long to have not been pushing to meet someone in person otherwise. Never talk for more than 2 to 4 weeks without meeting someone for this exact reason.
OP. Yes, we never met. But emotional connections aren't limited to physical presence. We shared details about our lives, checked in on each other almost every day, encouraged each other through hard times. It wasn't just friendly small talk. He had a very busy routine. Long hospital shifts, exam preparation, barely any sleep, and yet he still made time to talk to me. Maybe such things don't seem romantic to everyone, but it was emotionally intimate enough to make me believe there was something real. Also, I am a Muslim and certain things that you have mentioned are considered haram outside marriage. That is why I made sure to maintain my boundaries. The problem isn't just that we never met. It's that he never told me he was married. That omission, while continuing to emotionally bond with someone else, is what makes it betrayal. Whether physical or not, emotional cheating is real. And it hurts just as much. I am not sharing this for sympathy but to shed light on something people often downplay or misunderstand. Still, I appreciate your perspective.